Intuition, thinking, sensation, feeling. It's the subjective, objective, and the rising half and the setting half, and it makes up the 4 quadrants. So if Mars is below the horizon subjectively, you're going to push one of 2 ways. One, you're going to be, if it's setting, you're going to be responding to people, and you're going to be reacting with anger and force, or you're getting a bit of encouragement, or you're getting put down. You're going to react. You're going to take it personally. It's going to drive you to have to be better. You know, you try and make love to someone, and they say that wasn't very good. That's going to be a huge rejection. You're going to be trying to work on it, until you can prove that you're better next time. You know, like they're trying to be better, trying to play, trying to perform better, but that's getting feedback and acting on feedback. So the setting, the Mars in the 4th, 5th, and 6th house, it's reacting. It's reacting to feedback. It'll try things as it gets feedback, it gets applause, gets paid, it gets things. It's going to be easy to do things if you're getting good feedback. But as soon as you start getting negative feedback, whoa, it affects how you can do everything. Like if you get a personal problem, it's going to be hard to be out in the world without it showing. Okay, when it's rising but below the horizon in that intuitive sense, you're still subjective, but you're projecting out your ideas, you're projecting out your motivators, you're acting on what you feel, it's not, you have the feelings come in, and it's like you go to sleep, you have your feelings, good feelings, bad feelings, you have your dreams, you wake up, and why do you get up in the morning? Why do you do anything? Why go anywhere? Well, usually you have from the dreams that some judgment has come, some nervous hit, and I got to go take care of this, or I got to go do this, or I'll never take care of this, I'll never do this, or I got to deal with that problem. You're seeing what you think you have to face and how you're going to deal with it. So Mars is pushing to get, like my Mars in the 3rd house, I interrupt people all the time. If they start talking and it's getting boring, or I see where it's going, I'll interrupt them and change the subject or take control of it. And it's a really impolite thing to do. I try not to do it so much anymore. Of course, I don't have so many people around me anymore because that's what I do. Okay. You're getting the information. Everyone's shut off. I can't interrupt anybody. This is a safe territory for me to put my energy out into. At least now. But making ideas, doing things, acting on it, going things, making things happen, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man. Take, like, let me out of here. I'm just going. I don't need to stay here. When things would get bad outwardly, why would I put up with it? I'm going to go somewhere else. So, but someone in the 2nd house would be pushing, I got to have these resources. I got to have at least this much money. I got to push to get this money. I got to push to have these things. I value this. So I'm going to fight for it. I don't care where other people are. They're in a different place, but this is what I got to do. It's a subjective thing. But they're not reacting to it. They're pushing on it. I got to fight for this. I got to fight for that. I got to do this. I got to make this happen. I have to get these kind of experiences. So as soon as I identify with something, or I'm motivated by something, I'm 100% going on it, whether other people think I'm too far gone or not. So Mars in that first quadrant, that intuitive rising quadrant, would kind of be like, well, both below. It could be, you could see a feeling side or the rising side. But if you remember the movie Close Encounters, the guy was married and he had a vision. He kept having these dreams of the spaceship and the dreams of the mountain where it's going to be. He didn't know it was where it was going to be, but he kept seeing the mountain. He kept having to make the mountain. He was trying to dig in his backyard. So eventually he's digging all the earth in the backyard, piling up on the kitchen table. And he's got the mountain, but he's trying to cut away to explain it to his wife. She thinks he's gone crazy. She grabs the kids and runs out of the house, gets out of the car and goes somewhere. He's still trying to build the mountain or find the mountain. Okay, that's not rational or functional. It's a subjective, intuitive thing. I got to do this. I got to do that. Okay. Then these are sort of behavioral patterns. We get down a concrete thing, just see it in the house. It means this or means that. We can do that. But understanding this process behind it is useful. When Mars goes above the horizon, it's going to be thinking or sensation quadrant. It's going to be rising or setting. So when you're pushing your energy out and trying to influence other people, you're thinking about what you're doing and who's going to affect what you have to do, what you have to face. That's the thinking. I got to do this. I got to prove this. I got to compete with this. I got to take on this. I got to do that. That's the above the horizon, what you have to do. The Mars in the 12th house, you're either over dedicated, I got to do this, I got to do this, or you're feeling, I'll never get this done because nobody's there, they're not going to like it, I got to do it. But you're still being pushed to have to do it. But there's sometimes, why bother? Why do it? There's a bit of an objective perspective on it. No encouragement. The people, but if I want to be part of something, I'm going to have to use my conscience, put my energy in it, and make a strong stand around it. But there's still be places that you put energy out and other people aren't on the same wavelength. So the 11th house, it really is team and peer pressure, trying to live up to the team, the group, prove things. 10th house, trying to prove things to the boss or get things done or accomplish things. This is the power of thinking. The Mars is going into that thinking quadrant. It's rising and it's functional. What am I doing? What's happening? So what therapy for each person is different. Someone who's had a heartbreak and doesn't feel like doing anything, but they have their Mars up in the 12th, 11th, or 10th house. They got to get a job. They got to get busy. They got to get doing things to let it settle. They're not. If they go into themselves and let the job go, they're going to have much more difficulty dealing with the subjective side of it. Whew. But that difficulty was probably why they got in the problem in the first place. But the Mars 12th, 11th, 10th, you're trying to put the energy out and you're rising it to see how far you could take it, what job you can do, who you need to know to do this, where you have to, I'm doing this. So that adrenaline is being put out. It's being built up within oneself below the horizon rising, but then it's going out, it's being pushed on people's talk, it's going out and interactive and happening. Okay. When it hits the midheaven, once Mars is in the setting side of the functional side, it's what do I have to do? What needs to be done? Within a sensitivity of what other people need and what has to be done, or there's a reaction. You like what I did? You tell me what to do. You explain what needs to be done, I'll do it. Don't just go figure it out yourself. They need to get the feedback of what to do, both what's right and wrong, both around what's valuable, how do we use our energy. Mars in the 8th house, I'm pushing to use our energy. I'm going to be strong about what we're supposed to spend our money on. Or I know what's right. We have to push for what's right, and we're going to fight for the moral majority or for the ethics we believe in, regardless of what people will align this way. So, and the Mars in the 7th, we're going to push to have a relationship. It's going to take a stand, and we're going to be doing things together that put our energy together. So the individual that has that is going to be a little bit forceful. You can be forceful towards the partnership and be trying to control it, or you could be, it's essentially that, or you can be attracting situations that are trying to control you or demanding you to fill in the gap or to keep doing this, to keep doing that. The idea is to be functional and to be interactive. Otherwise, why would you do something if nobody cared? But if you have your Mars below, if nobody cares, why would you bother? Like, it's not the right way. You're more like, you'll never swim those 10 lengths. You're only doing a half a length now. It still gives you the determination. I took that person, they challenged me, chicken, whatever, I'm going to get myself together. And the drive is to get yourself together and get yourself stronger. So you can be getting yourself strong because you're personally motivated to. Inwardly, you're challenged by it or feeling you're not good enough around and you have to do it. Or you can be out in the team, in the gym, and the place, and you can be challenged to have to live up to everyone else. It's like if you're overweight, if you're around other people, well, they're going to notice it, and so I'm going to have to compete to do that. Other people are going to be motivating me to have to fix it. Like, I got to compete and live up to this. So you can be projecting that, or if you're feeling it, I don't fit in, I'm feeling overweight, somebody said something, boy, I'm taking it in, I don't want to do anything. Like, the houses have this inherent pattern of how we process. By putting Mars on one side, by putting any planet on one side, it really affects the whole thing, but with a certain bias in a certain way. So it's all still going on, but you're processing in a certain way. So with Mars, you're trying to do things, you're trying to make things happen, you're trying to force things there. You're not trying to be passive there. You're not trying to hold back there. So you need to get experiences of those sorts. So therapy for a person there is different, to be physically to get physical therapy, to put yourself together, there's going to be different ways. Some people are better in a team or a gym or with a group. Some people are not. Okay, so this again, it's general, but it's not so invasive. You see these things, there's a puzzle. You watch how someone's doing, it's a puzzle. But say you had a autistic kid and you're trying to see what can they do and how do they work this, you can get ideas how their energy is supposed to work. And you could reach them with those arguments better than if you didn't know it. It's not everybody's going to respond the same way or do things the same way. So, okay. So, okay, when we come to the specific houses, the more specific you see Mars is going to go here. It means this is general astrology, but you can cut on that without looking at the deeper side behind it. I tend to try and wonder about the deeper side of it more than just because Mars is in the house, that house is all important. I don't tend to like. It's the house is part of a quadrant. It's part of a half. There's many levels of insight, but it is useful. We can see these things. It doesn't get quite, you're looking at Mars, you're seeing how you're using energy. It's not the same thing as your values or your thoughts or your feelings or your needs. Good. So there's the angular houses, succeeding houses, and cadent houses. When Mars is in an angular house, the angular houses are houses of dynamic being. It's the parts where we're trying to be somebody. I'm trying to be my identity. I'm trying to be me. I'm trying to be my career, my status. I'm trying to be relate in my marriage or partnership. I'm trying to be secure. The 4 areas of our life. Hi, what's your name? Are you married? Where do you live? What do you do for a living? 4 questions we ask for people. But if Mars is going to, these are houses of dynamic being that are a little pushy to start with. What happens if you put Mars in those houses? Well, Mars is going to push. And it's pushy houses. You're going to have more assertive, demanding, competitive people who are putting it out, who are strong and asserting. Well, just because you're strong and asserting doesn't mean other people want to go along with it or like it. You know, if you're pushing stronger than most people, other people are going to be pushed by you. So if your Mars is in the first house, you have to be physical. You have to be in shape. You have to be doing things. Your identity is competitive. Your identity is physical, competitive, challenging, and hopefully courageous and noble. But you got to do this. I got to do this. I got to go here. It's I, me. It's the identity house of being myself. Being myself means being physical and being active. Being impatient, being restless, being competitive. Just that's what I'm putting out. If you have Mars up in the 10th house of angular being, that's the career place. That's the house of honor or respect. Why do you get honor and respect? Because you accomplish something, you say you're going to do something, and you actually prove it and do it. You've accomplished it. You've made it happen. That's 10th house, respect. So what's Mars going to do with her? I got to have a job. I can do this for you. I can achieve this. It's going to be pushy around career. And it's going to be pushy to achieve things, to get respect. It's going to fight with authority because it wants to fight to be the authority. I'm going to do it. I'll tell you how to do it. It's bossy. But when push comes to shove, when you have a family and trying to get somewhere, Mars in the 12th is going to be controlling. We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this now. Let's go. Come on. It's going to be driving. In the first house, it will be driving it too. I got to do this. Come on. We're doing. It's a pushing it, but there's a more administrative need for authority with the Mars up in the 10th house. There's a need for respect, honor. I'm doing this. This is my job, to my work. And the force is you're trying to achieve things. You're trying to be somebody, to be recognized, to get respect. And your Mars is going to be pushing to go there. So you're going to push to make career things happen. And you're going to expect the house, relationships, and other things to align with it. And not always will they, but you expect that because your Mars is going out, not so much at home. If you have a kid that's got that, that's probably a good thing because they'll push to get their own job and get out of the house rather than stick around being told what to do by their parents.